you can remember. So use that phrase as your password. You can obviously change it here and there. If it's for Facebook, maybe it starts with an F. If it's for Twitter, it starts with a T or whatever. But try to use those methods to create your password. And also in making sure that your password is secure, needs to have a capital letter. Some of it can be a small letter, a special character. So it's like an exclamation or the @ sign and a number. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Pardon? Okay, you are okay. You can come in. After Siphokazi, it will be Ms. Lindas.
There was a question on cyberbullying and the stats in South Africa. There was a report released by DigiMune in 2021 on cyberbullying, which they did a survey on 200 South African parents. And out of that, they found out that 54% of their children had been bullied. But also, one of the things that we need to highlight in that not all the kids are comfortable in sharing their experiences and their it is important to note that kids will be cyberbullied and they will not share. And that is why it is important for parents, when you give your child a smartphone, make sure that you have access to that phone, make sure you know what's going on there, and educate them on how they use these apps. They go on TikTok, they go on Facebook, they go on Twitter, but there is no education behind to say this is how you need to utilize this device. So what we did as the department in trying and helping the parents and the kids into the cyberspace, we developed a toolkit which we call Cybersecurity Awareness School Toolkit. It's freely available on our website, which is www.cybersecurityhub.gov.za under awareness. Don't worry, I will flag the website there. It's quite long. So the toolkit, we call it a driver's license to the cyberspace. It gives you ideas on how to protect yourself on the cyberspace, what to do and what not to do, and what to do when you have been exposed to inappropriate content online. So yeah, the government is doing something. I know people are always saying government is not doing much. We are doing something. And at the hub, this is where we also receive any cybersecurity any cybersecurity incidents that people face. And sorry, I got distracted there. I thought someone was saying something. So if you have been exposed and you have been a victim of any cybersecurity related incident, you report it to the hub. So when you visit the website, there is a tab that says report an incident. So you report it there. So that is what we're trying to do. The artifacts of the school kit are there. So you can go visit and read the information. It's freely available for you. No need to pay anything. Thank you.
Thank you, Siphokazi. Let me check if Ms. Lindas, oh, okay. Ms. Lindas, can you come in to respond to the questions? We will take another questions after this before we call you to present. So we were talking outside and that there might be other questions that women in this platform would want to ask, but we just finishing the first bunch of questions that we had. Over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Mdlalosi, and thank you for the opportunity. I'm not switching on the video now because we are load shedded. So I just want to hear if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, so we are having load shedding, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get. Sorry, I think I was muted. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I think most of the questions has been answered, and I'm apologizing for not switching on the video because we have load shedding. So I think it's going to be taking more battery if I switch on the video because I'm using a device that's using battery now as opposed to electricity. So I just wanted to say that I think most of the questions has been answered, except for maybe the one related to where South Africa is in terms of how we are doing as far as digital connectivity is concerned. So in terms of digital connectivity, we have what is called the just excuse me for a second. Sorry about that. What is called the broadband connectivity plan for South Africa, and South Africa is connecting, has connected. Most of the provinces in the country are connected. We are connecting schools, police stations, clinics, and in regard to that, the South Africa has moved tremendously as far as connecting basic services are concerned. We also have what we call the e-government framework, which is essentially about connecting government and making government services more accessible to citizens. So in terms of making government services more accessible, South Africa has moved ahead in that regard. On the African continent, we are third as far as connectivity is concerned, after Seychelles and Mauritius. And then in terms of globally, we are still obviously lagging behind, but we have made a lot of strides in that regard. And then also just to indicate in terms of the fourth industrial revolution, it was mentioned earlier that there is a lot of work that's done in terms of augmentative reality and virtual reality, and also robotics and Internet of Things. And as a country, we are moving forward, but there is still obviously work that needs to be done in that area. We have seen that there are various industries like the medical industry that's already using robotics as part of delivering some of their services. We have online services such as where you can apply for your tax returns, you can apply for a driver's license online. There's a number of pockets of excellence in the country, but obviously we still have a long way to go. So that's just in terms of where we are as South Africa as far as connectivity is concerned. But in all of that, one of the challenges that we still face is the fact that women are still lagging behind in terms of access to these opportunities and also participation in the digital environment. So I think I will leave it at that for now. Thank you. Hi, are we still connected? Did you hear my input?
We cannot hear the main speaker.
Hello, colleagues. I can't hear you. Are we still connected?
But after saying so much,
Okay.
colleagues, can you hear me online?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm here to introduce the next speaker who will present to you on cybersecurity and cyberbullying. Her name is Ms. Noma F.S. Mngata. She's the Deputy Director, Cybersecurity Operations at the Department of Communications and Digital Technologies. She's the one that receives all the incidents that are reported nationally at the hub. So just give her your ears and welcome, Effie.
Before Effie start, I forgot to introduce earlier that in the platform we also have Postbank with us. There is something that they will want to give it to women here who are in Western Cape. So before they give it would be better that I introduce them. So I think Raymond, my colleague Raymond, is sitting at the back. Yeah, over to you, Effie.
Sorry, colleagues, we are sending the presentation to Zakele to project attachment, Effie, attachment. Maybe while we are sending the presentation to the technical team, Petronella, are you still on the line?
Yes, I am, Sibukazi.
Oh, yes, Petronella. Can you please tackle the question on where to from here, the one that Sister Andy spoke about before we move to the next one? What are other events that are coming? And are they still going to be going to other provinces and other women? And how will they benefit women? Because they indicated this is the first event that they've been exposed to. Thank you.
Thank you, Sipukazi. I think just to indicate that this activity is primarily located within us observing International Women's Day, as I indicated in the morning. And we have similar dialogues as part of National Women's Month, which is in August, and then National Disability Month, which is in November. And this is therefore the third of this kind of activity for this financial year, which ends on the 31st of March this year. As the Department of Communications and Digital Technologies, there is a number of activities that is implemented under various target areas of the department. As you heard earlier when Nozipo made her presentation, she indicated that the department will be having a campaign around looking at digital skills and how to access future skills and digital skills, for example. So just to answer the question, essentially there will be different activities and different programs that will be implemented throughout the financial year, which starts on the 1st of April every year and ends at the on the 31st of March annually. And in context of gender equity programs, what we do normally is to have these dialogues as part of commemorating international or national days. And in this instance, it's International Women's Day. So the next
We're losing you, Petronella. ESCOM is not working with us. Colleagues, but I think you do get the gist of the programs that are coming and what the department is doing. Zakele, please project. Then we can move on.
Good afternoon, everybody. My colleague has already introduced me. I am Noma FSM Ngeta from DCDT. I work at the Cybersecurity Hub. I'm responsible for cyber threats that people get on daily basis. So I normally respond to that. And I'm the person behind the computers. So I normally don't interact a lot with people. People from who have an IT background, if they are in here, can you give support? Okay, what I'm going to talk about has been touched by most presenters. Even my supervisor has already introduced some of the work that we are doing. I'm going to talk about what we do at the Hub, what cybersecurity is, the type of threats that we receive, and then I'll concentrate on cyberbullying and online fake stores. We are women, we are supporting women here, and we know that we like shopping, so we need to empower ourselves and know what to do to identify those online fake stores. Huh? Hello, it's there. Yes, what we do at the Cybersecurity Hub, the hub is an entity that was established by DCDT. It's a computer incident response team. As I've said earlier, we deal with cyber attacks that people encounter on a daily basis. We respond, we work with different organizations, ISPA in taking down fraudulent websites. We work with NPA with cases that deal with cyberbullying. We also work with SABRIC if it has to do with fraud. We do a lot of cybersecurity awareness. My supervisor has spoke about the toolkit that we have developed for learners. It's on our website. Can you go to the slide, to the next slide, please? Yes, that is our website. So if you receive or you encounter a cyber attack, you can email us to that email address there, and then we can be able to assist working with other organizations that we worked with and resolve whatever you have encountered. Another toolkit that we've developed is for SMMEs, the small businesses. We've realized that most of the small businesses, they were receiving these tender scams where a tender scam will be advertised online, and then small businesses will respond to that, and at the end of the day, they will be required to pay an amount so that they can get a tender. So this toolkit, it empowers SMMEs to actually know that the process doesn't involve payment for you to get the tender. What is cybersecurity? It's a practice of protecting our networks, the systems, the devices, and everything that we need, that we connect with on the internet. I said we receive a lot of attacks, and the purpose of these attacks, they are targeting people to reveal personal information, stealing your information, get money from you fraudulently, and all those things. In my next slide, I'm going to talk about what the types of cyber attacks that we receive. Most of it, we receive a lot of what we have classified as abusive content. In abusive content, it's where you receive spam emails, you receive those annoying telephone calls, telesays that you didn't even consent to get those. Cyberbullying, cyber stalking, child pornography, and also violence. Another top cyber threat that we deal with on daily basis is fraud. The online fake stores, fraudulent domains, the job scams. Somebody spoke about how do you verify if this is a legit advertisement. We receive a lot of those reports from the users around South Africa. What is a cyberbully? It's someone who uses technology to harass, embarrass, and intimidate you. What do they use? They post gossip about you, send messages to everyone. They post your secrets, something that you didn't want other people to know, but maybe your friend you've shared this secret with, and is exposing it online without giving consent. They use emails, instant messaging, digital photos, and any electronic communication. Most of the victims of cyberbullies are children and some adults. We believe that most adults do not report cyberbullying because they are ashamed. And as a result, we don't get the stats of how many people have been affected actually by cyberbullying. But with children, we do get those numbers because most of them, they do report with us and also with FPB, one of the organizations that we work with. How do you then protect yourself? My colleague Nokbalela has mentioned how you keep your passwords safe and how to choose safe passwords, not using a username that is connected to you, like using your name. Then it will be common for people to know that this is your username. Using multi-factor authentication method, as she has explained. And also think twice before you post whatever thing that you need to post online. Because when you post something online, it stays there. My boss usually says that you are leaving a digital footprint. So that means that whatever you have posted will remain there forever. So you need to think twice before you post something. So how do you then protect yourself? If someone is sending a threatening message to you, you don't respond, because you'll be doing cyberbullying also if you respond. So don't respond to the message. You save it. It will be used when you lodge a formal complaint that you are being bullied. We've seen the effects of cyberbullying: loss of jobs, school dropouts, depression, and in some cases we've seen suicide, like in the case of Ulufono in Limpopo, where he was physically bullied, and then somebody took a video of that and posted it online, and she committed suicide. There are many ways that you can protect your children online. What we normally advise is getting those internet monitoring software. Look for a cheap one. You install it in all the devices at home, and then what the software does, it flags whatever the child is doing online that is suspicious, not everything. So if the child is chatting on adult chatting sites, it will flag it and then give you a notification, and then you can be able to see what your child is doing online. Sipokazi has mentioned that we normally buy our kids smartphones, but we don't educate them. So we advise parents to educate the kids before using the smartphone. Tell them about the benefits of the internet and also the dangers. And when they go online, at least they are prepared and they are aware what is going on. If your child is cyberbullied, there's usually warning signs. The kid will drop on when assessments are done. Maybe he or she fails, and he also stop participating in school activities, and he will be isolated and stuff like that. So you need to look for those signs when for kids who are cyberbullied. What you do when your child has been cyberbullied? There is a hotline for the Films and Publications Board. The number is 0800 000 555. So whatever case that you have with cyberbullying, they will be able to assist you. We've received a case at the hub where an adult was cyberbullied by an ex-husband. So what the ex-husband did was to register on porn site and then offered sexual services, pretending to be the wife, and revealed information, the physical address, work address, cell phone number, and everything. So this woman was harassed. People went to her work. They went home. She ended up losing the job. She was depressed, and we were able to assist her. We worked with NPA, and we advised her to report the case to the police cybercrimes unit, and we provided all the evidence that this particular IP address was used in this case. And then the process is, when you get the police reference number, you then go to the magistrate court and get a protection order, like you are being physically bullied. And once that protection order was given to her, the police were able to arrest the guy, and he is behind bars now. So the government is doing something relating to cyber crimes. We have a policy, the cyber crimes bill that was passed. So people are able now to be, the perpetrators of cyber crimes they can be prosecuted using this bill. And then the other one is the POPI Act. Sphokazhi spoke about it to say whatever you want to post or share online, you need to get consent from that person. And if you don't get consent, then you are in trouble. You can be charged. The last topic that I want to talk about is online fake stores. So there is a lot of online fake stores. And most victims, they buy stuff online. You never get whatever you ordered. And then you already paid your money. You can't get your money back. And then you get blocked by these online fake sellers. So we've got some tips on how you can identify an online fake store. Firstly, they are newly registered website. So at the bottom of each and every page, there is a place where it shows when the website was registered. So look for that. If it's newly registered 2022, then chances are it's a fake store. Look for the physical address. The quickest verification that you can do, take that physical address, put it on Google Maps, you will see the location. In most cases, you will see that it's a warehouse or it's behind a taxi rank, and people haven't looked for those things, and you already paid your money. It's very difficult. So you must go through the process of going to the police. And sometimes it's very, very difficult to get the people behind number that is advertised there is not a record. So it's a challenge for us as the cybersecurity because we work with COMRIC. It's another computer incident response team within the country for mobile phones. So what we do, if you report a crime that was committed using a cell phone, then if there is a case number, then they are able to subpoena and go through the records of the cell phone. But now the challenge that we're facing as a country is that if the number is not recorded, then we are stuck, we cannot assist. So it's one of the things that we are looking into resolving and seeing what we can assist the citizens in resolving most of the crime. Thank you very much. I will ask Sphokazhi to assist with.
I'm not assisting with anything.
If I'm getting any questions.
Okay. Thank you so much, Effie. Colleagues, yeah, you've been getting a lot of questions online, and thank you, because I'm sitting there, so I've been answering some of them. I just want to check if we do have questions on the floor. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic. There's a question there. Zakhele, if you can assist with the microphone, or no, Balela, please. And also online, if you can just gather all those questions and then we ask. We are sitting at 3 o'clock, colleagues, so time is not on our side and people are being load shaded. There's a question on the floor.
Thank you, Ife. Your presentation was well done. I could see you were very nervous, but you did well.
Thank you so much.
I've got a few questions, but I kind of keep it short. I looked at your website and it looks very impressive. I am always concerned of those that don't have access to the websites. So my question would be is, have the department considered working with the Department of Education? Because frankly, a lot of these youth are at school, and do we have hard copies? Because we've got a beautiful system called an NGO departments and NPCs that are willing to do the groundwork for the department. The only thing that is needed is that we have to take hands. So we are willing, you have willing agents, warriors on the floor that are willing to do these things, because these are people that are working at schools, and they would die for pamphlets and
if you answer the question, don't say
She's abusing me now.
you did amazing. Your presentation was amazing.
No, we work with Department of Basic Education. I did say when I was introducing the toolkit that we collaborated with the Department of Basic Education to do the toolkit. We do have hard copies for those schools that are not online, because not all schools are connected. So what we then do, we roll it out to the other provinces. So we have a couple of provinces that we're going to, others we've visited already. Next week we're going to Mthatha, we're in Limpopo, Kwakwa, we have Northwest. So when we go to these schools, we bring hard copies with. So if they do have connectivity, it's good for us, but if they don't, we do give them the hard copy. We are in a process now of printing 2,000 copies. Also, we got a service provider to do that, and we go there. I'm passionate about the rural areas because I'm from there. So I understand that you miss out on a lot of things. I always tell people I first saw a computer when I was at varsity, and that was not a good thing. And I was doing information technology. So it's important that we do go down there to the rural schools. So we do have hard copies for those that don't have connectivity. And we hope that the department will connect all schools eventually. I forget that I'm also co-program director. And we do lots and lots and lots of cases, as Effie has indicated. So do visit the website. It's under development as well. We're still trying to put more content. So we encourage you to interact with us and report those cases. You'll never know if your case is cybersecurity related or not, but we will be able to tell you and guide you accordingly. We work with SAPS, we work with NPA, we work with SABRIC, which all the banks for fraud, as Effie indicated. So we do work with a lot of stakeholders. Visit us, report, we will be able to guide you. And we also have an awareness tab where we give you some cybersecurity tips. Thank you. No questions in absentia of questions. Oh, there's a question. No, Balela, there's a question there. Second row.
So last year my daughter was cyberbullied, and we called Childline 116, and they were disappointing because the person was bullying my daughter and all of her friends and several other friends at different schools had cloned another cloned a profile, and then we found out that they were actually part of a group of boys that was doing it to various girls. So they were a teenage syndicate. So we could not open a police file because there's no particular person to blame. There is no particular IP address. So the case is still in the air.
The fact that you know someone cloned, you know, one of the things that we always do, we say, if someone reports a case, I can just write to the hub and say, I've been frauded, someone defrauded me online, I bought shoes, I never received them. So we do require some sort of evidence, because before we send it to SARS, we really need to say, this is a case worth pursuing. So you can report it to the hub, and the lady behind the computer will be able to tell you what she needs from you in order for the case to be pursued. But we do encourage that you report that to the hub. We do work with Childline, so we might be able to get you a better answer. Colleagues, we have the ones that are online. I hope I did justice in answering those questions. We have the Funda Community Center that's in Gauteng currently. They've got a demonstration on 4IR that they want to do. So I'm not sure if they are coming in now or at 3:30.
While they are preparing, we have a hosting breakfast.
Oh yes, man of many talents. Mr. Raymond. Now he's coming bearing gifts, ladies. Ne? It's time for gifts. Time for gifts. Even wearing an apron.
Good afternoon, ladies. You know, yesterday I was, not even yesterday, last week, I was with the Directorate of Youth presenting while I'm in Gauteng. They were in KZN. I was wishing that I could be a young person again. Today, unfortunately, it's just that I'm very straight. I was going to say I wish I could be a woman. Mr. Lerato, could you please make the women be like us? And when they are like us, the reason is all about being the power of togetherness as women. We'll talk more about this tomorrow when I'm presenting. For now, I'm not talking. Quite unfortunate for those who are not in Cape Town. We'll see when time comes when we come to your province, you look like them. Thank you.
Ladies, ladies, ladies. They are all wearing aprons. I'm not sure if they're gonna take them off. Like they can't look like us. It's for Women's Day, not them. Raymond, this is about us. So while you ladies are receiving your beautiful aprons, Zakela, please check if the team is ready to showcase. Or please team indicate. Gauteng, thumbs up, raise your hand, say something to tell us that you're ready to showcase.
Gauteng is ready, we're ready to showcase.
Perfect, the floor is yours.
Hi everybody. Hopefully so. We have 4IR, we have T20, we have the robots as well. So this is what the team specializes in. So hopefully all of you can see us and enjoy.
Yes, we can see you.
Good day. Name is Kosana Jeremiah,
in Siafunda, we deal with robotics and Siafunda, robotics and code review. So me and Jeremiah, and including Ulrich, you won't see him. 3 people are responsible for what you see in terms of research and development in robotics and programming. So we have some of the functions we're doing, but I'm going to start off with the easier parts of robotics before we go into the more advanced versions of robotics. So what I have here, this is MicroBit. It's a very unique tool that we use to teach youngsters how to code electronics. So even if your child is in primary school, we can teach him to understand tolerance and programming using MicroBit. So now I have on me here done. I just want to show you the mechanics of MicroBit. So this is MicroBit. Forget about what you see at the list of benchmark. The itself, this is MicroBit. You can do so many things. You can code it to send text. You can code it to play games. You can code it to respond to whatever you want it to respond to. And the way you do that is you type in a code inside this act according to what? According to the code that is put in. So I have 2 of this. I have another one here with it can be shown. I have this one connected to the PC. I cannot remove it for now. So I have this one MicroBit connected to the PC. I have a second MicroBit that I don't have connected. To the computer. Now, the little project that I have here, it goes like this. That MicroBit here. Now, for those who aren't aware, never mind this MicroBit. This is called a breadboard or a breadboard, right? As a little board that we use to connect a lot of things like your LED lights and whatever. Okay. So now, here's what I'm going to do. I've created a project that just by using this MicroBit, I'm going to turn on the lights on and off without pressing anything. I'm going to be using this MicroBit wirelessly to turn on and off the lights that you see. There's a green LED light, there's a yellow LED light. So now the only way it will work, I need to connect this to power source. So just bear with me. This is one of the things you can put now on. Okay. Just wait for it. Let me see. Okay. Now just pay close attention to the lights. So I have placed a code, a software code that's inside this MicroBit. I've done it using this laptop. So I have sent some instructions. That's what code is. Code is a set of instructions that allow a computer to do exactly as you want. So this MicroBit has instructions, right? This MicroBit has instructions. So the instructions go like this. If I tilt this MicroBit, one light needs to, if I tilt this MicroBit to the right or to the left, the other lights will on. So let's see that in action. So I'm gonna, right now as you see, the lights are off, okay? Now I'm going to tilt this. I don't know if those who are online can see it. Just if I tilt this to the left side, the other light ons, okay? Why is that? The main thing is that these 2 MicroBits, they use what is called a radio. Similar to, what's this, 94 or YFM. So these 2 MicroBits have radio transmitters and radio receivers. I have placed a code inside this MicroBit so that when I tilt this, it has to send a signal from this MicroBit to this MicroBit wirelessly to tell this MicroBit, hey, on the top of the other. So the instructions are sent from this MicroBit to this MicroBit It's the same thing as Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi works in the same thing. So these are some of the devices we use at CF Funded to teach youngsters how to code robotics. And there's a lot of projects you can do with this device. It's unfortunate that I cannot share the screen of my laptop because that is where the code is. You can actually see the actual code that is responsible for doing what I'm doing right now. So microbit at basic level of programming and robotics. If you go into much more advanced stuff, as you see here, this is more advanced. But if you want to start out, if you want to learn how to code and how to code robotics, microbit is the best way to go about doing it. So this was me just showcasing you what microbit can do. And it doesn't even mean that I have to turn on the lights by just tilting. I can even change the code right now. What I'm gonna do this. Let me just change the code quick. I'm gonna change code that it should not send the instructions if I tilt. It should send the instructions when I shake. So let me change that code on my PC right now so that instead of it tilting, it should shake. So now let me see. Okay, just bear with me. Okay. That's the reason why I wanted to share my screen. You can see exactly what I'm doing, but it's fine. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Let me just put in the code of one and then okay. She can come behind this. All right. So I'm not gonna take a lot of time because my colleague has to come in. So what you are looking at right here, the purple one at the left, the code tells the rabbit to listen to the instructions when I tilt left or right. So I'm gonna remove this code. I'm gonna put in a different code. Okay. I'm gonna remove this.
Guys, can you please say something? You are muted, so we're seeing keyboards, cables. Please say something. Unmute. Gauteng.
Yes, we are on. We are
now
on.
We can hear you, so you can proceed.
Yes. Yes.
So because time is of the essence, guys, this was just a short recap of microbit. I'm going to pass on everything to my colleague Jeremiah, who's going to show you more advanced ways of robotics. Jeremiah, what to you?
So good evening. My name is Jeremiah. Good evening. My name is Jeremiah. I'm a robotics facilitator and a self-taught robot maker. Well, mostly what I do is robotics. So this robot that you see over here, it's a robot that I designed using recycled material. So before I used to control it with analog remote, a remote that have a cable. But now I'm controlling using my cell phone. So this is an app that I designed so I can send commands using my voice. Hello. So when I send a voice command that says hello, it's going to open a code in this robot that will allow this robot to handshake. Hello.
Can you just bear with us?
Okay. Okay, I can move on to this one. So this is a robot that I designed using a 3D printer. So a 3D printer, it's a printer that prints objects, 3D objects, like these ones. So with IT, you can design something from a computer, and then it will print, as you see here, it's printing an object. So you can print something using a computer. Like this robot, I designed it using a computer software. So I didn't print it, all of it like this, but I printed single parts. I started with this part and then this part until it was all combined. My cell phone is off.
So you know what is happening. So the software is there. So now the cell phone is off. So that means the communication. There's just a communication breakdown from the cell phone to the robot. So basically, that is the problem that we experience. It's just a communication breakdown, nothing else. Yes. So just give us a minute. We're trying to fix that.
Maybe while you fix that, colleagues, can you please share with us what skills do one need to be able to program robots? Like what do I need to do at high school level and at tertiary level? Someone might be interested in joining the field.
And that is a very good question. Can my voice be heard? I'm not muted, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so in terms of doing this, your basic programming skills. So there's a language called Python. So you need to know how to program, right? How to instruct computers to do exactly as you say. So a Python course would be good, and a short course in electronics. Because not only do you need to know how to instruct the computer to do what you want, but at the same time, you need to understand how electronics works, right? Voltage, resistance, ohms, components, everything. So it's actually two courses. It's electronics and coding. And although people think that coding is difficult, but I assure you, Python, which is what Siafunda teaches, is you can teach it to even someone who's in grade 8. That's how simple is it. But it's so powerful that even apps like YouTube, Netflix have been coded using Python, the very same language that we teach you in Siafunda. So you need to be a programmer. You need to know how to program. Also, never mind the skills of programming and electronics. You also have to have certain traits, certain attributes. You have to be determined in the sense that you do not give up easily. Failure has to be your best friend. If you don't like failure, let go. See something else that you can do. You cannot actually persist if you are scared of failure. Because as we say, me and Jeremiah, failure is the essence of success. Without it, there's no success. And I know this is a bit strange, but that's the only way we see it. If we, like for instance, right now, he's having an issue trying to transmit his voice commands to the robot, but he doesn't give up. He persists. He's trying to look for the solution. So those are attributes you should have. Skills, Python, programming, and electronics. Attributes, do not give up, have a persistent mind of wanting to know more. And that is just a basic level.
Wow, thank you so much. And just to clarify, Python, not Python as in a snake, Python, the programming language. I hope you colleagues are having your connection now, the communication between the cell phone and the robot. It will be nice to see
Yes.
the interaction. Okay, you can go ahead.
Yes. Yes. Now just give it time. Yes. So and this is just the beginning. Why are we still waiting for this? This is just the beginning, because he's using a smartphone, an Android app, to command what we call him Astro. That's the name we've given him. I'm even using him for a machine. So that is one aspect of it. But we can also code, although this is still on research and development, we can code a robot to think for itself. So instead of just listening to commands, we can just turn it on and we'll just do what it, for example, it can move itself and go outside the door without you telling it to do so. So there's two parts of robotics. There's fully automated and there's semi-automated. So this one that we have is a semi-automated machine. Semi meaning half of it is done by a human, the other half by robotics. So Jeremiah sends a code via his voice. That's manual. That's him doing it. Okay, and then the robot will receive the command and do what Jeremiah says. So it's semi-automatic. But a fully automatic device will not require Jeremiah to instruct it. You just switch it on and that's it. It acts as a human being. That is what is called artificial intelligence, and that is some of the things that we're busy with in Siafunda. So it's just unfortunate. I don't know where you went to. I would have loved to show you how this can be done. So if we have a bit time, maybe Jeremiah might come back and just show you, because it is the only way that he actually coded this. He actually coded it for it to receive commands from a smartphone, not only Android, but iOS. So unfortunately, the battery has died on us. That is the unfortunate part. However, so I don't know, since we're waiting, I don't know from the ones who are online, are there other questions you might want to pose?
So colleagues, we are not getting the robot. You know, technology sometimes it can work with you or work against you.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any questions? The network was quite bad, I must say. We struggled to see like a lot of things. But thank you so much, colleagues. We hope that in the next event, we'll be able to see you physically and you can showcase this.
Yes, I would love that. Just a moment. I think there's something. Just a second. Let me just see the time.
I'm giving you 2 minutes. There's a question from Porch, Northwest. You can go ahead and ask your question. Northwest, there's a hand. You are on mute, Northwest. Please unmute. There you go.
Okay, I would like to know which software can I use to create a robot, because I've been using Microsoft Visual Basic to create interfaces and codes. So which appropriate software will I be able to use to create robots?
Hey,
Thank
sir,
you.
that is a
Next
good
question for you.
that is the good question, sir. So now, what software should I use to code a robot? Well, your Visual Studio, sir, is perfectly fine because I'm sure you're using it with C Sharp. It doesn't matter what code you use. And the language, sir, it's not what software you should use, what language should you use to code the program. So whether it's C Sharp, Python, C++, Java, it doesn't matter. Any programming language, a high level or a low level programming language can be used. So in our case, the devices that we are using that controls this robot, the device is called Arduino. Arduino makes small motherboards, circuit boards, and the language that you use is C++. So, sir, because you use Visual Studio, I'm pretty much sure you're familiar with C++ because the Visual Studio uses C Sharp. So C Sharp, as you know, comes from C++. So to answer you, any programming language, it depends on the actual device, the actual electronics that you're trying to control with that software. So if you know Java, C Sharp, Python, you are good to go. You just need to understand the actual device that controls the robot. So for Arduino, the one we're using, you need to use C++.
Thank you so much. Are there any
Thank you.
questions? Let's just check if there's any questions, or are you winning with the technology that? Please show us some magic.
Hello.
There's another question here from Western Cape. Okay, the question is, do you guys have a YouTube channel where they can see what you are trying to showcase now, or it has to be this now? Because I think they're thinking your network is quite bad, you're blurry. So if you do have a YouTube channel.
We do have a YouTube channel. We can have the link down the session, the meeting, the Teams meeting. We can have it there. So we do have it. Right now we don't have a lot of videos in regards to robotics because there's some research we're busy with. So we're trying to get down with that research so then we can upload it. However, we do have a YouTube channel. So what we are going to do, if this issue we're having persists, we can just upload the one that we want to show you and then send the link and then you can see it. So however we do have a YouTube channel, you can see
we
some
will
of the things.
appreciate
So
that.
I'm gonna make sure that I
Thank you.
leave it on the channel.
Okay.
So
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So am I correct if I say we're not winning?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. No, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, we got a handshake. But I will still request you colleagues to put it on. It is not good. So it will be very nice for us to see it clearly. Are we doing something else?
Yeah. Thank you very much. For now, we are done. Yeah, I think at least the robotics came through. So basically, we're showing how the handshake is done, the communication that was done through yeah, the app. So thank you very much, and our robot here.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please mute Gauteng. Thank you. Done. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to the end of our program for today. It's been an eventful day. We had, just to recap, we had a lot of speakers that spoke to us today. We still have a lot happening tomorrow. We had Ms. Linders, who's our Chief Director, GDYC at the department, who gave us the purpose of the day. We needed to know why we were here. We also had Ms. Karen Homo, who made us dance. We cannot forget her. She made us dance, and she spoke about the initiatives that International Relations and Corporations Department is doing. And we also had Meta, which is Facebook. A lot of information that they gave us, but at the end of the day, we can all agree it's all up to us. How you protect yourself on these apps, it's up to you. So if you open things, people are going to have access. But if you say, no, I don't want people to access this, someone must request. If they want to send me a message, then that's also up to you. And we had our colleague, Nozi, who spoke about digital skills. I'm sure now you all know what digital skills you need. Can we agree on that? And I'm sure some of you are now going to visit the NEMISA website and actually see what they offer. Let's do this, ladies. And you had my colleague, Noma FSA, who blew up the chat with her presentation. There were so many questions on the chat when she presented. And she told you something you didn't know, that existed a cybersecurity hub. So now you will be visiting the hub, you know about the hub. And you know that as you interact with that machine, it's actually her behind. So at least now you can put the face to the computer. So tomorrow we are here again. You will have Sister Andy and myself. No, we can't do that at the end. We also have Sister Andy tomorrow. I'll be assisting her again with the program for day 2. So tomorrow we have quite few speakers. We have women telecoms, we have small business, and we hope there's load shedding. I'm sure you're all aware. So some of the speakers who are connecting online are struggling to connect. So, but we're hoping tomorrow we will be able to have most of them. We have also ICT policy branch colleagues who will be presenting on audio and visual content. We have Tembeka from Digital Sound Broadcasting for IR. We have the guy who gave us gifts. Yep. Yes, he's going to be talking to us about financial literacy. We know as women we like to spend. So he will be telling us how to save and how to know if you can actually afford what you want to buy. I don't like that topic, but yeah. And we have Miss Tina, who is the CEO of Women's Net. And we have my colleague whom I work very close with, Nokubalela Mchunu, who's the 4IR expert who specializes in blockchain. She'll be talking a lot about 4IR things, Internet of Things, machine learning, artificial intelligence. Interesting. That's also a very interesting topic. And we'll have Miss Linders, who will talk to us about GBVF. Yeah, she will deal with GBVF. And yeah, tomorrow we have a short day, so we hope we spend time and we end the program early. It's Friday, and we can do what people do on Fridays. Thank you so much, and see you tomorrow.